and that they could retire on the amount of business I got from them. So that's definitely good. And if you're passionate that way anyway in the first place, it shows they want to work with you. So
a lot of them have their own internal newsletters and things like that. That if you can advertise in those, that's always good, just so they know you exist.
Mm-hmm. And then again, if you work with one of them, and they tell your friends, tell your partners, tell people in the precinct, it's huge. So cool. Well, good morning, everybody. We're bantering already. I started the recording for Coffee Talk with the Broker Team. We got Don here, Raul here, myself here, and we got looks like about 12 others, 10 others.
Yeah.
Okay. Good morning to you all. How was your weekend? Anything fun this weekend? Any business this weekend? How's that?
Good morning.
Go ahead.
Good morning, everyone. This is Grace.
Hi, Grace.
Sorry, I'm driving. Hi, good morning.
Yeah, be careful, Grace.
Yeah. Very busy weekend. Rosie and the team at the office are going to be very busy reviewing paperwork this morning. I feel sorry for them.
Oh.
Yeah, no, everything is good.
That's awesome. See, praise report. I love that. So we don't mind paperwork when our agents are producing, and we love it. So it's great. But we're building our team, making it strong for you guys. So, all right. 2 more guests. Got that done. Yeah.
Got it.
Perfect. Thank you. Raul, do you have anything for us to start off today? Anything you heard over the weekend?
Oh, yes. I noticed some agents were busy this weekend. They were calling just, and like we were just touching a little bit earlier, where knowledge is power. Just gain the right sources there to guide our agents, and the agents also have their list of, as far as lenders, when it comes to buyers asking what if they had a lender that the agent know they can recommend. Of course, we provide a list, and that's just being knowledgeable through the weekend, and also maybe a lender that also works through the weekend that could probably have the proper response and maybe complete an application, at least to start loan application, so they can go ahead and see what they're approved for and start seeing those houses. Yes, by no means, knowledge is power, and just getting acquainted with the type of client you have, if it's like first responder, respondent. And back then they used to have that good neighbor program for buyers. I think they still do in some banks or so. They'll come up with that as well. And it was a busy weekend for agents showing houses. I know there's some showing this evening and accommodate with their clients.
Raul brings up a great point for everybody here as well. Is the National Association of Realtors often recommends that we recommend 3, that we're not referring off to somebody like, hey, use this person as my lender, use this person as my inspector, and so forth. From a very technical standpoint, we certainly can. Just there's a level of risk there. It's your name saying I refer this person. We do have our preferred lenders, which is Move-In Mortgage and Lower Mortgage, who pay a fee to be associated with HomeSmart. We have a vendor list that we can share with you as well, that all the agents referred who they work with. But really, it's who you partner with. I often made my lenders my business partner. I'm giving them business, they're giving me business, and I'm very transparent about it. And I'll say, here's a couple different lenders that our company recommends. Here's one that I work with personally, but it's your call. And same thing with a client I'm working with now. They wanted to buy a house with a pool, but all the ones they were finding weren't the ones they wanted. And we found a place without a pool. I said, tell you what, I'll have my pool guy out, give you a bid so you can do a pool. Then you can hire whoever you want. That helped me sell a house because I had the resources of a contact of someone who could give them the information for. Like, oh yeah, we can put a pool here, and then they get a baseline how much it would cost them. Now, I'm not saying they have to use my pool guy, but the fact that I had somebody that was a resource. Very good point, Raul. Yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning, Marie.
Morning, Marie.
How's everybody doing in Houston? I'm trying to put something together with a title company, and I am going to invite whoever wants to come from other offices on a subject like when there's a transaction and the other party dies during the transaction.
Yep. Is that a question, or you went? Yeah. Yeah. We've dealt with, actually, this is a fairly common issue, which is kind of strange, but we've dealt with this quite a bit, where one of the parties passes away. And in most cases, so does the contract. And it's one of those things. The party to sign the contract is no longer living. You haven't executed it. You haven't consummated it yet. Sometimes we deal with probate. Sometimes we deal with trying to rewrite the contract. Sometimes it's surviving spouse. Who knows? But these can be very messy. That'd be a great class with title. And
Well, I have a question for you.
Sure.
So in that case, say the husband went to the hospital and the woman, they're going into a transaction. So what happens? The contract completely dies? That's a question. No.
Yeah, that's a question for attorneys generally. But yeah, if the party, we get this a lot of times where they'll say the wife was given power of attorney, so she can sign it. And well, no, the power of attorney dies at the person's death. So if Raul gives me power of attorney, and then I'm working on his behalf, and then Raul passes away, I can no longer have power of attorney for Raul. That doesn't survive death. And so death is oftentimes one of the parties that didn't close on it yet is gone. And so then we have to get an attorneys involved. Okay, can the surviving spouse still sell it? Do we need an extension? What do we do with title? And there's some really, and then of course, Elaine, the heirs inherit contractual obligations. Yep, true. But you have to figure out who the heirs are, who has the right to those things. So, and you have a contract between a party, a buyer, and a seller that no longer there. Exactly. Yep. So that would be a great class, but there's no cut and dry answer. It's based on the situation, right, Don?
Yeah, absolutely. It's like, it kind of depends a little bit on which side died, was seller side, buyer side. And then you've got on the seller side, how far, was this a sudden death? Was it somebody who has been languishing in a home for a long time and the power of attorney's already been switched over? I mean, there's so many different scenarios that could come into play. That's why it's a great class, Marie, that if the title company will hit on each one of those possibilities, because it's not always the same answer. It's not going to be the same answer every time.
That might be a good class. That would be a good class to have up here.
I'm very familiar with the story title. I don't like to stress out the titles that I like, but that's number one title company for me. I'm sorry.
No,
they're good.
We build relationships with people, and we end up trusting people that do us well, right? So if that's good for you, perfect. And HomeSmart does have a title company. They're just not here in Texas yet. So when they are, we'll be saying, hey, try out HomeSmart or Equitable, I should say. So, but until then, and always use your own. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry.
No, Myrna, go ahead. Yep.
Oh, okay. I just want to, since we're talking about here about this situation, do you have a list of attorneys when we need a question legally, that we struggle? So I always, I have several, but the problem I face, those that speak Spanish to find. So if you get around attorneys that are bilingual, please.
We are couple things. We don't have HomeSmart attorneys that speak Spanish, and we don't have HomeSmart attorneys to answer your questions. We do have a vendor list where other agents have recommended the attorneys they use. Some of them are actual agents with us and attorneys, and I can share that again out today with everybody, so they have that, and you can add people to it. So it's agent referred, and then we can see if we can put together a database of people that we've worked with in the past too. So you have a little bit more robust list. I think there's 5 or 6 on there right now that are attorneys. So that's what we have. Happy to share it though. And then Elena may know some as well, and Don may know some. We'll add whoever we know on there. But again, they're not people that work directly with HomeSmart, but people that have been recommended by HomeSmart agents.
Wonderful. Thank you.
You're welcome. It's a great question. All right. Got those. Those. Virus came up. Good. Sandy. Okay, good. Marie, when do you think you're going to do this class? Do you know? Okay. Well, we'll get to that'd be a good one, Don. Maybe we'll talk to Deanna, see if she can do one here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. How about you, Don? Anything for us today to start off with? Anything you saw over the weekend or broker review?
No, broker review. One of the things that we're adding in that came from transaction services at the end of last week is that it seems like some of maybe the quick codes, but some of the things that we're putting in there, agents are having a tough time trying to figure out exactly which documents being talked about. So I had a talk with the girls doing broker review this morning and asked them at the very beginning of everything that they load in there, that in caps, they put the document that they're actually talking about to make it easier to find the issue itself.
Great, like the IABS, purchase and sale agreement, the amendment, whatever. Yeah, okay, perfect. That's awesome. Yeah, and anything you guys see like that, if you see a note in your broker review, that didn't make sense, we can revise these things as well, so that oftentimes we see the same thing over and over again. So a quick code for us is like standard language, so to speak. But if we can revise it in a way that makes more sense, let us know. All right, floor is open. Any questions, any scenarios you guys want to talk about this week? Can you believe it's into March?
In March. We had in two cases, I would say cases, but two kind of scenarios this month, and they kind of ring the bell. One was it's a land purchase contract, and this one has, of course, a mobile home or manufactured home. One had a single wide, the other one had a double wide. But the main question is, once you do the offer, if it will include, of course, the manufactured home is not only a land value, a sale only, but it also includes the actual structure or the mobile home. Main question is, as the title company opens, of course, title, then we'll see if the manufactured home is considered real property or personal property. And if we wanted to get a little bit more ahead of ourselves and go the extra mile and research that, of course, Austin has their website to follow this and see if that manufactured home is lien free, if it's paid off, and of course it's considered real property or personal property, and how the buyer would like to acquire this, and of course depends on the title company with the proper paperwork. In other words, the question was, how do I know if the manufactured home is already considered real property or personal property? Then again, it's through the title company and through the website. I think it's a TDC. Well, I'll put it in the chat in a minute, but yeah, that's what we're dealing with. And apparently both properties were under personal property. It's no different if just maybe living kind of similar to a refrigerator. But the manufactured home is considered real property. Comes to be where the buyer says, I would like to keep it as real property. I mean, it's probably in best it might be have it's already set there. And it's probably less taxes. That's what they were kind of considering, paying less taxes as personal property than real property.
We see a lot of this in Houston, or Houston area near where you have a vacant land or undeveloped land they've pulled mobile homes on and they're renting them out. And it's interesting because those are personal property. They're not affixed to the land. And for a lot of our agents too, how do you know it's real property? As Raul says, they've got to affix the property permanently to the land. So whether it be tie downs, concrete, foundation, however they affix it, so it's fixed, then they've got to legally remove or eliminate the serial number for the trailer, the manufactured home, so that it eliminates it. Now it's absorbed in the land, so it becomes real property. So there's a process that is involved to make it real property. And a lot of times we see, well, it hasn't been done. Has the serial number been eliminated? Has it been affixed to the property? If you see it up on blocks, if you see it up on whatever, maybe it's not been affixed to the property. So and oftentimes when they affix it, they have to have a structural engineer come out, L&I engineer, if you will, and then make sure that they're affixed properly as well. There are some notes to it that will be recorded on title when it's real property. But that's a great thing, but we see a lot of it. And so we've seen several where they use them as rental properties. They sell the property, but they don't sell the lots. If you were to sell them and they weren't affixed, they are personal property. It's akin to selling a car. It's a bill of sale for these things, and we're not licensed to do that. So to your point, it'd be like a refrigerator, a non-realty item. Crazy stuff. So hopefully not getting it. Hopefully they're mostly cash. But we do see it. So if you're looking at these things, make sure that obviously if tied to septic, tied to electric, tied to power, and they're probably in the right direction of fixing it, but not always. So
Thank you. Yes, and this one was in particular, they placed cables underneath. I cabled it in, and they thought it was real property. But Austin said, no, it's personal property and it's to be just conveyed over since it's free and clear. And one of them was kind of a inheritance, like a probate. So they didn't know much about it. Then again, all the research was done through the proper due diligence option phase. So, yeah. Another question that arose was if this was on the listing side, we had an agent listing two vacant lots, and she was trying to see if she can place both tax ID numbers on the same contract itself, since they were adjacent or right next to each other. And of course, maybe use the proper language under agent remarks that it could be sold, they can be sold separately, but it probably involve maybe a plat, and it might take a few months. So just give them that option to the buyers. But also the primary question was if those two lots can be placed under the same listing contract. And I told him yes, but just to clarify it.
Yeah, this is one of those things. We saw one recently. The one thing I'll tell you one thing you can't do, and someone did do, that don't do this. You can't be a buyer buying two separate lots from two separate sellers on the same contract. We had a buyer's agent write in this property and this property, this seller and this seller on the same. That you can't do that. That's crazy. Now, to Raul's point, if the same owner owns multiple properties and multiple land, and you want to include the different parcel numbers on that from the same seller and same buyer, yes, that is, you can do that. But it's a sale for all these parcel numbers included, right? So.
Excuse me, going back to Raul.
Yeah.
We have, the Valley is more like a retirement part of the country. We have a lot of winter Texans that come down here, and they buy a mobile home already on the lot. So when we get ready to sell them, we use a residential contract. So it is a personal property because the land sells with the trailer. We just have to do the serial number, but we sell them as a residential contract. I mean, as a residential home. And we've been doing it for a long time. I know at one time, the track wanted us to only sell one a year per agent, but now you can sell as many as you want. But we have a lot of mobile homes in the country, and even in mobile home parks. We have a lot of mobile home parks, 55 and over, and we sell them as residential. And so we just use the residential contract, just like if it was a regular home. And we have no issue with that.
You had no issue yet. Yeah.
No issue yet.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. But I am going to check with Track on because I haven't checked that in a long time, and it's about the realtor selling more than one. But I know that you can sell more than one now, but just to clear my mind, I will check with Track on that, and I'll keep you posted on that. But yes, they sell them right and left, because this is a retirement community or part of the country, and we have tons of trailer parks. All the way from Brownsville to McAllen, and it's and we just we have a lot of people that come in here and stay here, and for the winter we have a lot of winter Texans, and then they wind up buying a home and then they stay here. So that's a really good marketing down here, market the mobile home parks. There's
a tip for you, SpaceX employees as well, right? So
yes, absolutely.
We'll follow up with you, Anna Marie, on that. But for generally, the mobile home parks, the mobile homes that are fixed to land are personal property, and I would definitely call the brokers before you do anything with those. So, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
If you sell more than one, you have to have a dealer's license.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I'm still going to check with Track on that, just to clear my mind. How many can we still sell more than one? I mean, I haven't sold a mobile home in quite some time, but when before they go home, they're getting older. And then they want to sell, and they're not coming back anymore. Or we have a lot of people from up north calling us, hey, I wanted to sell my dad's home. It's in a certain park, and like I said, we just treat it like regular home. But you're right. I'm going to check into that, Marty.
Yeah, please do. But I think pretty sure you can only do one, but we'll find out. Anyway, that's a good subject. That's maybe in our class too. Like we do enough of out here with manufactured homes There's a lot of stuff. I live up in Montgomery County, all out there in Cleveland, cut and shoot. They're nothing but trailer parks, it seems like, or places with mobile home sellers. So it'd be great. And then another thing too, for financing, let's say that the home was affixed as to a property. Let's say they fixed it, they eliminated title, they're good, and then they decide they would move it to somewhere else part of the property, right? You need to know this because most of the time you cannot get financing, especially FHA or VA financing if it was ever moved. So you pick your site, you fix it, and it's good, and don't move it. So, Don, Raul on that.
Yes, and that then again also back to Maurice. Yes, it's always good, even to clarify in the beginning on the actual if it's a 1 to 4 residential contract with the land with the manufactured home. If it's going to be a land sale only, and then of course that manufactured home, if it's listed as recorded online in Austin as a personal, to just go ahead and include that non-realty item, the title company will request that. And also to clarify if it's doable where they can convey it as personal property and or change it to real property after that, after they move in or so. But just to clarify that it is it's a good research to do, just so we prevent any headaches or maybe not unneeded surprises after closing. Yes.
We did that I think it was last week, maybe in last week or week before last on the Facebook page. That was one of the broker line questions of the day, and we put the information up there, the steps required to turn personal property mobile home into real property. And it ended up with what Marty was talking about, which was the serial number being recorded. It was actually surrendering the certificate of title. Because when you buy the mobile home, you get a certificate of title, just like buying a car, truck, motorcycle, whatever. And that certificate of title makes it personal property. If you surrender that to the TDHCA, which is the Texas Department of Housing and Community Affairs, then they will send something back out stating, okay, now this is considered real property and you go ahead and sell it as real property. And so we put that in the Facebook page. I think it was last week, maybe week before. I just put a link in chat for the TDHCA, because that is the regulatory body in the state of Texas that determines whether or not it's real property or personal property. So,
yes.
Make sure you click on that. Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Thank you. And it's very simple to find out just by placing either the name or the address, and it'll pop up the certificate of ownership, and it says real property or personal, and if there's any liens on it. So you're kind of doing the research from the title, but then again, the customer will, greatly appreciate this just by knowing this up front.
Mm-hmm.
Makes all the difference in the world when it comes to financing, that's for sure.
It's interesting. Most buyers won't know. They think a home's a home too, as well. Like, how can I buy this house? It's cheap or it's less expensive, so I want to buy this. Oftentimes, when it has been affixed, it is real property. We know that it really is. But certain standards, even when it comes to refinancing the property 5 years down the road, lenders deal with stick-built homes versus manufactured homes differently. Be aware of that. You can buy a home VA for both of them. However, if you want to refinance that VA loan to 100% and pull money out later on a stick-built, you can. On a manufactured home, I believe it's 75%. So there are limits to it. So it's something to be aware of. Utility, if you will.
And then making sure that it hasn't been moved before. They even mean on the same lot. We had that transaction where it had been moved from one place on the lot to another place on the lot. It was like, nope, sorry, it's been moved, even though it was on the same piece of property.
Wow.
We had some investors bought a manufactured home on a property and moved it, since the part where it was at was lower on the property, lower elevation, had more flooding. So they moved it to an area with less flooding, which makes sense, right? But they couldn't get financing for the same reason. Yeah, they moved it. So, yeah.
Very fickle part of the business.
Some of these things, though, you can save your client a lot of headache by saying up front, have you considered this? Have you considered that? Yes, I know it's less expensive, but these are the headaches you may have to run into when buying it. If you're good, great. I've just closed these things so you're aware. At least you're protecting them in that way. So, all right. I see Sandra. I see Rochelle. I see Carmen. Colleen, any questions? Morning. Any subject matter you want to talk about? There's a topic. Leave it wide open for Don and Raul and I. Hand it up. Colleen, go ahead.
So I don't have a question. I just want to make a comment and say thank you to Kristen in our back office who helped me get through a Lennar closing, because they've changed around. It's been a while since I had done one, and they've changed around where they don't issue checks, for commissions. So I had sent an email to the back office. I said, okay, how do you want me to handle this? Because I had directions from Lennar. And so Kristen responded and gave me hey, Kristen, gave me really good instructions. So I followed her instructions. And sorry, Kristen, you didn't receive anything until late on Friday. It was a busy day Friday. So
No,
anyway, thank you.
absolutely, anytime. Happy to help.
That's awesome.
I also want to thank Raul and the whole transaction department. I had a little issue over on Friday, and he was able to help me. I submitted the documents, and then I called transaction departments, and they were able to guide me as to how to submit and upload first time checks. So I was able to get that done successfully. So I just want to say thank you as well.
That's awesome. I literally answering a text from an agent. How do I upload a check? Well, if you log into Real Smart Agent, in the middle of the screen says check upload. Click on that. You can upload a check at any point in time. And you put in the property information, what check's for, take a picture, and then it is done for you. So save you a trip down to the office. So, and then of course we do have another question they had on the phone and thank you very much. How can a client wire money to HomeSmart? We don't have Zelle, we don't have Venmo, we don't have nothing, but we still have a partner in called Earnest. If you look into your vendor marketplace, it's called Earnest. You as an agent will set it up. Then your client can send money to obviously HomeSmart for compensation, right? Only, if you will, our commission. And I think it's a $5 fee. So it's one of those things, but it is a way for them to save a trip and to send money directly to HomeSmart through electronic means. But it's through Earnest. It's with 2 N's, EARNNEST. So check that out in our vendor marketplace.
A question on that, Marty. So like I uploaded digital. So what do we do with the physical, checks or money orders? Do we just turn them in eventually, or what do we do with those?
Ideally, yeah, it'd be great if you could mail them up here or turn them in. The real answer is hold on to them. Make sure the funds process. We're supposed to have a physical copy for 4 years, so it'd be great if you can get them into the office eventually. But we have the electronic copy, which is what we needed.
Thank
And
you.
if y'all want, they can always bring them here to the office, and whenever we get Daniel here, we can send them all together if that works for you,
That's
Marty.
perfectly fine. Yep.
Okay, I'll drop them off to Sandy. Thank you.
And one reminder, we do have training for RSA. If anybody's interested and still trying to work the system, please, put it on your calendar every Monday from 12 to 2.
Thank you for doing that, Sandy, by the way. That's awesome. It is one of those things where it unless you're in there, you forget how things work. And it is very user friendly, but there's a lot to find. So it's good. All right, Elena, what are you talking about? Title companies. All right.
Sorry, I've been quiet. I've been targeting the text on the side.
You're good, Elena. Yeah.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning, Elena.
Morning, Elena.
Yeah, there is a title company in the office, by the way. I don't know which title company it is. First floor. But there's a brand new one in there, so in our new building, so to speak. But
There are a couple of title companies. I mean, just right around there, less than 5 minutes away, all around the new building, and easy to get to from our new location. I think all their location, we have to go around and turn around, and oh my God, they got stuck right there, the Memorial, doing the U-turn. It was awful. So I'm so happy to be part of this new building, and the coffee's great downstairs. It's just lovely.
for those that haven't been here yet, there's free espresso machine downstairs for tenant lounge. Then we had a great training room, and John's going to use here in a couple of days for a mentee meeting. Come by the office. We love it. The only downside I found so far is leaving at 5 p.m. There's a little bit of traffic backup getting out of the building. So if you get here, leave at 4. or leave at 6. Yeah, you're good.
And plenty of happy hour places around there too. So you can stop there. There is a Starbucks down kind of, walking distance, plenty of great places. I just love this location. And when you come into the lobby, you feel peaceful. You feel like you're in a professional building. The other one, I felt like I was going to college, and the dark parking lot and watch out over you, who parks next to me. Everybody parks so close. It's just a lovely office. I thank you guys. A great location.
Yeah, thank you, Elena. We love it. So I'm sure you all will as well. Yep. All right. What's up next?
While we're waiting for that, I'll just say welcome to Rochelle Bell. Rochelle and I are.
Hey, Rochelle.
I was going to say we were drinking buddies, but it was coffee.
Oh, okay.
No,
Welcome.
Rochelle, ever since she got into business years ago, she's just transferred over to HomeSmart. So I just wanted to say welcome.
Welcome, Rochelle. Welcome to the family. Yeah, she's waving. She can unmute yourself if you want.
When she first got into business, she used to go and hang out at Starbucks or some coffee shop, and people would be sitting around talking about real estate. She would just be there to help answer questions, and she started picking up her business that way. It was something that worked really well for her.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Maybe think about something.
Secret agent.
Secret agent, right? No secret agents, right? Elena put in the chat about tax season, right? Obviously, in April 15th, taxes are due for everybody. A lot of realtors do an extension. We have agents that are actually accountants as well. All good stuff. But I was thinking about, remember the whole thing about reaching out to your clients? What a great reason. Hey, tax season. Do you have your closing statement? Do you have whatever? These are great ways to remind them of things they'll need for closing, and a good touch point for you to reach out to your past clients.
Homestead exemptions too.
Homestead exempt, exactly. Make sure you're filing for those, or know what they are for that matter. That's good. Always a reason to reach out to your clients. Say hi. Hey, I'm thinking about you. How are you doing? How are things? How are the kids? Yep.
And I just want to mention something since I'm talking to this morning. I saw on the elevator that invitation for tacos tomorrow at the lounge. So I'll be there for my tacos, my oranges, and my coffee. And anyone in the chat or listen to the recording later on wants to talk to me about probate business, I guess that will be a good place to meet. I have a couple of agents that had called me asking me how to get into the business, how I handle some of the files. So I'll be there.
There you go. Tacos and probate. I like it. Maybe you have meet them at the conference room afterwards. There we go. Yeah, the building, the landlords, if you will, the property management team has like special events. And so tomorrow they're providing from 9 to 11, I believe it is, tacos. Breakfast tacos for all the tenants. So you are welcome to come by. So fun. Anybody else? Grace, what's going on in the Woodlands besides you being busy? Carolyn, thank you.
Yeah, we have next week. This Wednesday we're meeting at the HR Montgomery Networking at Dorsey Doe from 9 to 11. If anybody would like to join us, you can sign up through the HER member portal just like you sign up for any other class. Next week, we have on the 7th, a flooring class from 12 to 2. And then on Wednesday, Dawn will be at the office teaching forms class in the afternoon from 1 to 4.
Nice. A flooring class. Is that like installing flooring, buying flooring? What type of flooring? What is that?
It's a flooring company that they actually you can hire them and they can pay at closing, but they're going to teach us about, I believe, the different types of floors, just general knowledge about flooring and what we should advise our clients to use if they're investors or, things like that.
Well, that's fantastic. You engineered hardwood, regular hardwood. You have laminate flooring. You have carpet. You have vinyl. You have tile. Yeah, that'd be good to recognize what they are, right?
Yes, and it's different, you know.
Right. I got approached by a lender the other day. They wanted to do a class on DSCR loans, so I might put that into play. It'd be kind of fun. It's basically investor loans using the rental property itself to qualify for the loan. I think that's pretty cool. So
That- Yeah, that's been a very popular loan. It used to be around a long time ago, but many lenders didn't know about it. I've done 3 between December and now, just this loan.
There
It's
we go.
really great. And it's typically investors that they do make a lot of money. They just don't claim a lot on their income, just if it's they own their own business. I had one who was a dentist, but they take so many tax deductions and they didn't even need to use his income at all. They just used the rental analysis, and yeah, they still need to have good credit, but they don't need to base the loan on anything other than how much it would rent for.
Yeah, they're qualifying based on the income potential of the property, especially if you've done it for a while and have multiple properties. But for investors too, if they're looking to buy a property and then already they could basically secure a lease or they've done it in the past, here's the amount of money that I'm going to be getting from this property. Therefore, it will qualify to pay for it. It's pretty cool. So yeah, we'll have to do that. So thanks for the stuff there, Grace, and your experience as well. And then Sandy put in some classes there too. Andrea, you got classes coming up in the Pearland office, right?
Yes, we have a few April the 8th, plotting and surveying at 1 p.m. And that is 1 hour CE. Then we have title commitment on April the 16th. And of course, April the 22nd, that's with Dawn. Contracts. I don't know why we're talking about this on the 22nd, Dawn, but that's when Dawn is here to pretty much review forms with us.
I think we should have a surprise contract class with Dawn, and people to show up and like, what are we learning about today? And if you can guess, ahead of time or know what he's talking about, maybe you get a prize. I don't know. Yeah.
Well,
We'll get a $25 gift card, whoever
Right.
chooses the correct.
all of our contract classes, other than the master class that we do on Fridays, all of our Wednesday classes are going to be centered this month in April are going to be centered around estimated net for a seller. Instead of actually going through a contract, other than looking at where it's going to apply, we're going to do estimated seller net exercise in every one of those classes in April. And so it's going to become important. We need to know.
Yep, I love that. We should every time you get an offer, every time you list a property, every time, even for your, when they're countering offering. Well, what's that net proceeds going to be if you counter at this place?
And know how to affect that number. If the seller doesn't like that bottom line number, how do I affect that? Because it's not always let's just change the sales price,
right?
Because sales price is not going to be a dollar for dollar gain like some things would. If they're asking me to pay some expenses like closing costs, things like that, if I pull that out, that's a dollar for dollar gain. So we need to know how we can manipulate that number to get it at least closer to where we want it to be.
Yeah, things like title and escrow are tied to price. Commissions are tied to price. Certain things that affect it in a different way as well. So it's good. Very good. I think at some point in time, we've had a few CMA classes in the past. Probably we'll loop around again here in a few months and do some CMA training as well. Just so on your note earlier, we should be doing those. And then people do them different ways. We're not appraisers, but you should be able to pull up a property and find comps and make it a suggestion pretty accurately, pretty quickly. So
maybe we can make that May Wednesday classes be CMA classes.
That'd be great.
We can do that. And then just because really we're getting back around to the time where, the contracts get ready to change anyway. So
right. In June, we get rolled out with the new TREC,
then it'll be approved. Yeah.
Yep. Which will be a whole, it's going to be good. It's going to be fantastic. So I'm speaking optimistically about it. All right. What else we got, guys?
Don, I have a question. When do the new contracts supposed to be uploaded for us to be used? Do we know?
No, we don't know exactly yet. The red line that came out in February during the Trek
Meetings.
monthly meeting. Yeah, it came out during the Trek meeting. It has a May date on it, but I don't know if that's where it's going to stick or not. But, and my question really this time is because things are changing so much, is, you know, usually they give us this transition period where you can use either the old one or the new one for usually 60 to 90 days. I'm not sure that's going to happen this time. It's kind of like when it changed in 2024, we didn't get a transition period. Like it came out in June and we had to start using it, you know, almost immediately. I'm kind of wondering if that's going to happen again this time, but we don't know yet, Elena. It's probably my best guess. I'm thinking maybe Marty's got a different timeline, but I'm kind of thinking July or August probably. What do you think, Marty?
Yeah, yeah, it may be more. I would probably say probably. I guessed a little sooner. You know, maybe mid to late
May?
June. Mid to late June probably. We'll probably roll out into May and then be mandatory early June, mid June.
July 1st, yeah, something like that. Yeah, 30 days to switch over. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
So,
because the biggest question is going to be because broker to broker compensation is going away. The 2402 is going away. What about those that are already in play with the 2402? We've got to kind of let those play out. We can't go and start renegotiating compensation at that time. So it's going to be interesting.
And then with this, sorry, Elena, the 2402 may not go away. It may go away for those contracts. It may be used for rentals. It may be some rare cases where, you know, we still have it still would be useful in some cases, some rare cases, but won't be used on a regular basis when it comes to sharing.
I always wondered if that's why they went ahead and kept the 2002 around.
Yeah.
Because the 2402 you could use for rentals or sales, which really kind of took the place of the 2002,
Right.
but they kept it out there. And I kept wondering, why do they keep this out here when it's already covered here? And I'm wondering if it's going to go back to the 2002 and get rid of the 2402 altogether. There's just so many possibilities here. We don't know right now.
And that would make most amount of sense if they did. They got to have a form for rentals. You know, if that's still in the case, right? Because these, once again, it's on sales.
That would have taken a whole lot of foresight, and I just don't know really.
We haven't seen that yet.
I won't go any further with that.
Elena, you have something else, Elena?
yeah, so what is changing, just to refresh my memory, it's the contract and the listing agreement for sale, right? Any changes on the listing agreement for lease at this point, do we know, or that one stays the same? Nobody knows.
We don't know. We don't know if there will be. I don't think there's going to be broker to broker compensation for any type of transaction. Once it happens, I don't think they're going to leave it in play for rentals, but not for sales. I can't imagine that. It just seems like that it's going away for good. I don't know, but
We'll see. Yeah,
Who knows?
it's interesting because rentals and commercial, for that matter, right, were exempted before, and you know it's only residential. It'd be nice if it was clear cut across the board. It was not. No compensation sharing. We'll see. Yeah, but in the agreement itself, there's other language being referenced in there as well that they're changing, but they're actually moving that buyer broker compensation to a separate section in that compensation area, so it's clearer, and allowing the buyer to pay the buyer broker, but also allowing the buyer to pay the selling broker's commission as well. Which is very interesting. So,
yeah, buyer can pay the listing agent, seller can pay the buyer's agent. Yeah.
Yep. And again, this is one of those things where, as we say, when we're doing our buyer tenant reps, we're still going to say, this is what I make. You know, my job is still to transfer that to the seller. It won't be the listing agent anymore, to the seller. Yeah, but it's part of our negotiation. It's subject to them accepting the payment on my thing, and then they'll negotiate it. You know, knowing that you have one contract and the second contract, which is the goal of the DOJ and all the lawsuit, was to make it very transparent. Well, it's transparent. So.
We'll have to do some role playing. We'll have to do some role play once all of that happens, to talk about how how should that conversation go between us and the seller and between us and the buyer?
Yeah.
We'll have to do some of that.
Yeah, well, I look forward to it. And I recommend, honestly, you should all be doing this. Once we get done, maybe Don and I and Raul will do some role playing for you guys on screen and have some of you participate. But then to actually practice this, with other agents in your offices, locally, together, that will get you better at just being natural at dealing with this. Because this is one that takes a little bit of conversation. Even before the previous change where it says, seller to pay what the buyer is obligated to pay the buyer broker is confusing. And then explaining that to it. So that language is pretty what's staying is pretty typical or pretty standard or pretty much the same as what it says now. So
yeah, it's going to have to become two separate conversations instead of one conversation where, okay, seller, this is what I'm charging you, and I'm going to share this much with the buyer side. That conversation goes away. It's got to be two separate conversations. This is what I'm going to charge you to represent you. Now let's talk about whether or not we should offer something on the other side. Two separate conversations rather than one.
Yep. And to your point, Don, without being role playing right now, I've always said that, part of this thing is this total amount I'm charging is this, because I offer up a certain amount to part of my marketing plans to attract more buyers who are tied to agents, right? That changes now to this is what I charge to market your property and find a buyer. Now, when we get an offer, we might anticipate a buyer being tied to a buyer broker, an agent. And that agent is going to be, that buyer's going to be obligated to pay that agent a compensation. They're going to want to negotiate that. So when we get an offer, expect an offer to include some kind of compensation to a buyer broker. Yeah. And then we have a net proceeds. We'll do a net proceeds at that point in time based on what they're asking. Remember, this is all negotiable. Mine's not negotiable anymore, but theirs is. And so we'll have that conversation when it happens. And then you get an offer. An offer includes X amount, right? X bananas for compensation. Here's the net proceeds. Here's what you get. Pay at this price, at these terms, at this concessions, and this buyer broker compensation. Is that good enough for you, or do you want to counter? And then how do we counter? Right? That's where we're just guiding our seller. It still comes down to their bottom line.
And it's market driven. The conversation is not always going to be the same forever and ever and ever. If this was 2021, first half of 2022, we might be able to have that conversation. You can probably get away with not offering a whole lot to the buyer's agent or on the buyer side because there's just not a whole lot of choices. But today's market where things are much more balanced than they have been, sellers probably going to have to seriously consider offering something or being willing to pay something, not offering it. When
I was a listing broker up in Washington State, in an area that was like probably 50% VA buyers, and a seller said, I don't want to sell a VA buyer. I go, so you want to give away half your market? Okay, that's going to hurt you. Ultimately, won't get the value you want for your property. You have less buyers. And I say in some cases here, you have the same conversation. So we know that 90% of buyers buy with an agent. Okay. And so if you don't want to pay anything, you may be ruling out some buyers. Is that what you want to do? It may be one of those things where don't cut off your nose to spite your face, right? So all different, right? But it's really our job to convey the truth in a non-emotional way that says, here's your options. Here's what I suggest. That's your call. So thank you, Elena.
And that's a good point. If we go along and say, things have changed to the point where that now we have to do it this way or something like that. We talk about it all the time. Buyers and sellers take their cue from us. Mm-hmm. If we go about our business as that, hey, this is it. This is the way it works. This is the way that we present it. This is what it is. Then it's usually taken a lot better than if we're upset about it, then they're going to be upset about it too.
Yeah, 100%. They are looking for us to be that calm, steady, informed party that can lead them through whatever happens. Always setting the expectation, which is something I love doing, is that it may be perfect up front, but at some point in time, something's going to go wrong. There's too many people involved. So say there's something, when it goes wrong, we'll deal with it. There's just, you don't know what it is yet, but when it does, this is what we're going to do. It's a great way of setting the credibility up that, There's nothing that ever happens that's perfect.
Mari, I want to say something about doing role play. I think that would be wonderful if you guys can create some videos and just leave them in there, like with couple of scenarios. I find out working with my mentees that when I send scenarios to them, it helps them start thinking like a realtor. We have many new agents that come from different backgrounds, different jobs, and they really need a little bit of push on how to respond. They don't know because it's not what they're used to do. So I was just wondering, I think that's a great idea. Whoever mentioned it, I don't know if it was Raul or Don, about role playing. If you do a scenario and then you play it, I think it gives an idea to agents and even seasoned agents like myself how to respond without being so emotional about it. Because I mean, emotions are part of our business.
We need somebody who can be a tough negotiator to be our seller when we do the role play, Elena. You know anybody who might be able to fit that?
Are you putting me on the spot again?
That's funny. Well, the other day, Elena was there as well. Many of you were. We had the CE class. We were doing the art of the follow-up. You know, when Juan Gonzalez was doing the class, he did a bunch of role play, and the agents that engaged with it, they got a lot out of the class.
That was neat.
You know, and I was commenting to Don. I go, it's amazing. Sometimes we take these things for granted. These are simple things that if we do them, they're always effective. But then just practicing those things gets people engaged in it. So, yeah, to your point, Elena, we'll definitely do that. It's a smart.
It was a lot of fun. Maybe we can have a game or something, you know, by points, and someone gets a T-shirt or whatever, you know. It was so much fun. I really, really enjoy it.
Yeah, that was good.
That was good. All right, we got time for probably one more question or statement. Anything else?
I put the link to our vendor list in the chat. I took the vendor list and I put it in under the downloads. I put it in the downloads so it can be downloaded by anybody. So you can find it. If you go into content and then downloads in your RSA, you can get that vendor list.
Good, and you can add to it as well.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Which is good because we need more, right? People you're working with, the good photographers, good inspectors, whomever. It's a nice resource, especially if your client goes, "Hey, I need a roofer," you know, it's Saturday afternoon. Well, pull it up. Well, here's some of the other agents have used in the past. You know, here's a place to get started. So good.
Oh, and I just placed the invitation from the HAR Inner Loop Networking. They have an amazing breakfast at the Junior League. And I'm sad to not to see agents from HomeSmart. I mean, Remax is there. Everybody that works the inner city is there. And I'm probably the only HomeSmart agent in the whole group. And I mean, and it's a great networking event, great breakfast. The topics are very, informative. So,
Elena, what day of the month is that?
It's coming up. I just put it on the chat. I think it's April. I have to look. April the 7th. It's coming up.
Okay, I'll look at it. I know.
Yeah, I would love. I mean, you see so many brokers that I'm familiar with them, and I was like, where are my HomeSmart agents? So I'm sitting here with Remax or sitting with other, which is good. It's part of networking. We share listings and tips, but it would be fun to have HomeSmart agents in one table and just mingle and be there.
Yeah, that's why I'm going to shout out Grace up there in the Woodlands, the Montgomery County one, which they're going to on Wednesday. But it's right at the same time as our brokers meeting. Unfortunately, that's why I won't be there. But there's always a big group, and they've been doing it for a long time. So to your point, Elena, it's a big deal when a big group of HomeSmart agents are together. It's good, valuable information, but you also make an impact in the room too. So
yeah, every part of town has one. Katie has one at Falcon Ridge golf course, the Great Northwest. I don't know where it is anymore. It used to be at the Glenlock Farms place. I don't know where Glenlock Farms clubhouse. I don't know where it is anymore, but they've been around forever. HAR puts them on once a month, every month. And yeah, you're right. I mean, it really being conspicuous, even among others in the industry, is really important. Really is.
I know that the Woodlands has a group together. To your point, Elena, for this inner loop, maybe we can like put on Facebook and gather people together that want to go to the Katy one, the one down south, and the one inner loop, and coordinate. It'd be fun.
Yeah, and now that I know the market is slow, but I find out that when we network among agents, we help each other. You know, my listing can be an opportunity for another agent to do an open house or share that listing with a prospect. If the other agent doesn't have listings, so maybe, you know, an agent has questions how you handle that or scenarios, and it's just, when the market is slow, I find out that networking with other agents and networking helps. Referrals help. Maybe there is someone that is at the Woodlands and don't work in the East End or all the way to the East, and I don't work the Woodlands. So anyone that comes to me on the Woodlands that wants something out of the Woodlands, I would like to have a relationship with an agent out of the Woodlands. And referral, it's a key in our game, because it is what it is. And there are some agents that, you know, they have family obligations in the afternoons. They cannot show because they have to be at the kids' game. Well, if we refer that showing or refer that client, we're providing a service, and they still look good because they can be part of the transaction. I have a referral coming my way from a seasoned agent that hasn't deal probate, and he called me. He's like, how can we work this deal together? And I've been coaching him, and we're having so much fun with this scenario, because he never expected. He doesn't specialize on probate. He has never done a file like that, and he just came out of networking. So I just want to invite all the agents here and the ones listening to the replay. Let's try to network and help each other.
I'd say take it one step farther, build your team, build a team, get an inspector, get a lender, get a title person, get an insurance person, whatever, and talk about referring business to each other. Network, meet other agents, different parts of town. So you have your referral network, but get your team together as well and say, hey, I want to refer business your way. You refer business my way, because they have families, friends, spheres of influence as well. Great way of doing business. So if you meet a lender, you meet a inspector, appraiser, whatever it may be, get their card, build it, take them out for coffee, look for business. So that's good ideas, guys. Last words, Raul?
Yes, all. Well, thank you. It was a great kind of informative coffee break with us, everybody. It's about all networking, like Elena says. Marty, of course, the networking is a must, and you can create those teams as well. We had an agent ask me directly, if you were going to be doing an appraisal, who would you use? Oh, well, personally, I would use this company, this gentleman. He's a great appraiser. Nonetheless, you know, just being professional, here's two more to add to the list, but my choice is the first one. But if you have that team already prepared, you have them right there and ready. And back then I had a mentor that would say, you know, networking is all about doing the sale, doing the business, because the inventory is already there. You just walk out, everything's inventory. At one point it will be, or it already is. So it's just about networking, getting it done, and by no means getting that other partner to help out.
Yep. Don, last words?
That's it. No, I'm good.
All right. Want to stop recording then?
I'm not used to getting the last word at home, so you know.